Good evening, everyone. Oh, I guess it's good afternoon for most of you. It's 7:15 p.m. here in the UK. So, if you saw my video yesterday about Sid, the lost dog in my area, I was out looking for Sid, who still hasn't been located. I don't think, anyway. Certainly nothing has come up on Facebook. But I did say I was going to do a live stream today, and here I am, about Angel Turner. Now, I did a live stream including information about Angel. Well, yes, not yesterday, the day before, but it was mainly a live stream about Sebastian Rogers, and I included a little bit about Caleb Harris and a little bit about Angel. But I wanted to do a standalone live stream that's quite short and quite, easily shareable, shall we say, because there are so few people talking about Angel. And I guess I'm a little bit surprised, but not, if that makes any sense, because there's been literally no media. There's no press conferences, nothing. So most people don't even know that she's missing. Certainly on YouTube. I don't know what's going on other social media. There is a Facebook group, which I'm going to take the information that I'm going to present today from. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And first of all, though, Purple AJ once again hopping in before the stream even starts with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough, Purple AJ. I just can't. So we've got Abia, Ladybird, Marge, Pearly, Knickknacks, Whistle Stop Cafe, Sniper 79, Poetic Justice, Janine, and Natalie. Welcome, everyone. You get a month's free membership courtesy of the wonderful Purple AJ. All right, so I'm not going to say kind of hellos and whatever, but hello, everyone. I'm going to get straight into it so that we can keep this quite short and snappy. So Angel Turner is 15 years old, just 15. She has been missing for a whole week. She was living at her dad's place, which is, let me make my screen bigger, and I'm going to share a map here. This is Berkeley Springs, and her dad and Angel were living on Fairview Drive, which is in West Virginia. Only just in West Virginia, very rural, and almost on the state line with Maryland. You got this kind of corner thing here. We got Maryland right there, and then a little bit to the north, we've got Pennsylvania. So we're on the cusp here of two separate states. That always concerns me. When someone goes missing, always concerns me. Thinking about trafficking, for example. So there's not a lot of information about Angel's case. Like I said, very few people are covering it, and there's not a great deal to go off, honestly. And there's not very much more right now, today, than what I shared 2 days ago. However, there's one important detail. It appears that she took some clothes with her. So it appears that her disappearance possibly was planned. Possibly. And it's a big possible. So I'm going to just give you her basic details first, and then I'm going to share the information that has come out on the Facebook group. So this is the Aware Foundation's poster for Angel. So there's no Amber Alert or anything like that. I don't know what the specific, I don't know how strict West Virginia are with Amber Alerts. Tennessee, for example, I've covered several cases from Tennessee, and they're quite liberal in their issuing of Amber Alerts. They if a kid goes missing under, circumstances where, they could be in severe danger, then they'll issue an Amber Alert. Other states, however, have much stricter criteria. So I don't know about West Virginia. I've never actually covered a case from West Virginia, not about a missing child anyway. I've covered a missing adult from West Virginia, but not a missing child. But there has been no Amber Alert. So this is Angel. This is Angel. So 15, kind of dark, dirty blonde hair, brown eyes, 5'1", 260 pounds. Last seen on Friday night, August the 2nd, by her dad. So she was living at her dad's place, and her dad went to bed, saw Angel before he went to bed. All was good. Saturday morning he got up, and we do have a little bit more detail about the timeline as well, which, if you know me, if you've been following my channel for any length of time, I do love a good timeline. So we do have a little bit more information about the timeline. So that's good. So Saturday morning, August the 3rd, Dad gets up, Angel isn't there. He has a look for her, can't find her. She's just gone. So the information that we've got about what she was wearing is based on what Dad last saw her wearing on the Friday night. So what she was wearing when she actually left, we don't know. So white t-shirt, black shorts, and white sneakers. Any information, then please contact the Morgan County Sheriff's Office on 304 258 0305. No, 0303. I can't even see that. Hold on, let's move this up a bit. Well, not. There we go. That's better. So that's cut off there. 0303. So that's Morgan County Sheriff's Office. 304 258 0303. I think it ends in a 5. Well, it says 3 here. I mean, that, anyway, we're just going off the information on this post here. The Aware Foundation do get things right more often than not. So, what about her dog? Well, her dog was at home. She hadn't taken the dog. Now, I was speculating a little bit in the live stream 2 days ago when I talked a little bit about Angel, that I thought that if she'd run away, actually planned to run away, she would have taken her medication and she would have taken her dog. But it appears neither. Neither's the case. Has her father been cleared? At this stage, nobody will have been cleared. They don't clear people. They don't clear families until, we don't even know that. We don't know that a crime has been committed. So it's kind of all up in the air, I guess. But, all right, this is the Facebook group here. So it's called Help Find Angel Turner. It is a public group, so I feel okay about sharing this information. So Angel's mother is called Carrie, and she posts a lot in this group. And she said, if the information hasn't come from her, then basically don't believe it. Because, when social media gets hold of a case, we've seen it time and time again that, things get misconstrued. There's theories, there's people taking a speculation as fact, and blah, blah, blah. It all happens. And in the absence of law enforcement coming out and saying anything at all, any suspicion on the father, not that we know about at this moment in time, no. Does she have a phone? No. So we're going to go through everything that we know. And this is a really useful little document that someone in the group has put together. So this is the information we know after the first week. This is based on what her mother has said. Now, her mother's been on a podcast, which is, I'll link it in the description box. I just forgot to do it, but I'll link it in the description box after. And her mother's given quite a bit of detail, but there's a little bit more, like I said, here than that I shared 2 days ago. So, all right. So, age 15, 5'1", 260 pounds, last seen on Friday night by her dad wearing a white t-shirt, black shorts, and white sneakers. Which could be black and white, like white with some black on. And she's also got a nose piercing. So I think that's an important detail as well. So Angel is described by her family as being loving, having a big heart. She's a homebody who likes her own space. So it's interesting that she's appears, at least, to have run away. She's quiet at first, but once comfortable, is talkative. She's a keyboard warrior, so she's on the internet. And something that did come out from the podcast was that her family, her mother and her dad, are trying to limit the amount of internet access. So I don't know whether that means that there's been a problem in the past, that she's talking to people that she doesn't know on the internet. So anyway, so she's more reserved in person than she is online. Angel loves animals. She's extremely intelligent. She's an active member of the local Boys and Girls Club locally. Very proud auntie and deeply loves her 2 nieces who miss her deeply. So she has an older sister who has a couple of kids. So Angel is the baby of the family. I don't know whether there's any other siblings. I do know there's the older sister, but I think she might have another sibling. Don't quote me on that though. All right, these are the facts that we know so far. Any record of mental health bullying, not that we know about, not that has been stated. Basically, these are all the facts condensed into 2 pages, which is incredibly useful. All right, so this is a little bit before she went missing. July 31st, she went to a local mall with Mrs. Shelley and her daughters. Now, I don't know who Mrs. Shelley is. I assume she's a neighbour, I'm guessing. Angel was upbeat during the trip, so no problems in the days previous. Thursday, August the 1st. Now, this is where we get these strange vehicles I talked about the other day. So Thursday, August the 1st, neighbours noticed 2 different vehicles. Now, because this is a very rural location, I mean, incredibly rural, it might be, things that neighbours notice. I mean, there's a fair few houses dotted about, but they tend to have, they're quite large lots. It's certainly not built up in any way, lots of woodland. So maybe neighbours would notice strange vehicles. All right, so there was 2 vehicles that neighbours did not recognise, just loitering about in the days preceding her disappearance. So there's a dark coloured SUV, could be black, or it could be like a dark blue, I guess, a dark purple, with a Hispanic male driver that was at the back of the home. So presumably the back of Angel's home, or maybe the back of a neighbour's home. But behind the houses, there was a dark coloured SUV parked up with a man inside, described as a Hispanic male driver. Don't know how old, just that he was a Hispanic male driver. In addition to the dark coloured SUV, there was also a white or light coloured 4-door sedan in the driveway. Now, I don't know whether this was Angel's driveway or the driveway of the neighbour, but I think, based on what comes next, it's Angel's driveway. So a white or light coloured 4-door sedan. So white or light coloured, I guess it could be like I don't know what other light colours there might be. Silver, I guess, sometimes gets mistaken as white somehow. And there was a male who was seen accessing the trunk. So the male is presumably out of this vehicle. An angel is standing by the door. Now, I don't know whether this is by the door of the house or by the door of the vehicle. So, suspicious based on what happens in less than 2 days' time. So, at this time, both of these vehicles, not yet been clarified whether there's a legitimate reason for them being there, or at least one of them being there. So we don't know whether they're relevant, but it's noteworthy that this is on the Thursday, 2 different vehicles, a dark coloured SUV and then a white or light coloured 4-door sedan. One of whom, at least one of whom, Angel appears to have some interaction with. Right. Friday, August the 2nd. Inconsequential. Angel went to bed around 11 p.m. Dad saw her, like, before she went to bed, described her behaviour as normal, you know, just normal. They joked about potato chips before she went to bed. Don't know. Dad checked the house around midnight before going to bed, so presumably that will be, I don't know, making sure the windows were closed, locking the door, just the kind of stuff that you do before you go to bed. Nothing was out of place. So Angel went to bed about 11. Dad goes to bed an hour later. Checks around the house. Nothing is amiss. Okay. So no warning signs, no red flags, nothing. Angel wasn't behaving strangely. She wasn't upset. They hadn't had an argument as far as we know. So what happened? All right, Saturday, August the 3rd. Dad wakes up around 7:30. And he notices that the gate to keep the dog from her room, so there's I assume it's like a baby gate that Angel has, maybe on the door of a bedroom, so that the dog can't get in. Maybe the dog wants to sleep with Angel and it bugs her or something. So there's this gate that prevents the dog from going into Angel's room. The gate was disturbed, so it had been moved, basically. And the dog, whose name is Boomer, so I don't know what breed Boomer is, was outside. Now, Boomer doesn't sleep outside. He's not an outdoor dog. So it's strange that the gate has been moved. And it's strange that Boomer's outside. Boomer's locked outside. Okay. So Dad thinks it's strange and Angel isn't there. So he has a look for her. Right, looks around, checks the house, checks the, outdoors. She's nowhere to be seen. So at 8:22, he calls Angel's mother, Carrie, to tell her that Angel is missing. Like, he's looked everywhere. The dog's here. Her stuff's here. She isn't here. And then shortly after, he called the police. So gets off the phone from Angel's mother and then calls the police, calls it into the sheriff's department. All right, so Carrie, Angel's mother, is 2.5 hours away. She lives in Scottsdale in Pennsylvania. So she drives to Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, to help with the search, to begin to try to work out what on earth has gone on. So the police arrive. Now, they've done preliminary searches of the home. So they searched the house, nothing amiss in the house, and also the outdoors of the property with search dogs. Now, we haven't been told. I haven't seen anywhere. So if somebody has, let me know. I haven't seen whether the dogs actually followed any tracks or not. So if the dogs got maybe, obviously Angel's lives there, so they're gonna, there's no point sending search dogs into the house to search for her. She's not there. But from the door, were the dogs able to get a track, like beyond maybe, a few yards from the front door? We don't know the answer to that. In my opinion, that's very important. Okay. The police have also taken Angel's electronic devices. So her phone was left behind. Her tablet was left behind. So she's taken no electronic devices with her. There was also a Chromebook that school provided. So that's been taken. Also, the Angel's smart TV. Now, listening to the podcast, it appears that her mother may not have known that Angel was able to access the internet on this smart TV. But it appears that she's been accessing. So, like I said, they've been trying to limit her access to the internet. Now, that denotes, obviously she's 15. So perhaps, parents of 15-year-olds do keep a check of what their kids doing online. But the fact that they've talked about this, does it mean that they know she's been talking to people on the internet and they've been trying to limit her access because of that, because of the concerns from predators and things like that? So I don't know. But Mummy's concerned that Angel may have been lured and that the predator could have given her a phone for her to communicate with them. So assuming that there's nothing on her phone, there's nothing on her tablet, there's nothing on the smart TV that would raise alarm bells. And obviously that's all part of an ongoing investigation. We won't know the answers to that yet, probably. The cops will probably get search warrants for any social media accounts she's got to be able to search them thoroughly. But I think there's a strong likelihood that she has gone to meet someone. I think there's a strong likelihood in this case. Now, she also had a smart watch, so not an Apple Watch, so not an iWatch, it's Apple Watch. So I don't know, some kind of smart watch, but that wasn't connected to Angel's phone or Angel's tablet. That was actually connected to Dad's phone. And she could only text from it to approved contacts or contacts that her parents agreed with. However, she's quite easily, potentially, bypassed that, either by using the school Chromebook or by using the smart TV that the parents didn't realise she could use to get online. All right, so here's the kicker. This gave me a massive pause for concern. Angel appears to have taken a laundry basket with her. A laundry basket. So what has she put in this laundry basket? And that might be why the gate, that stops the dog from getting into her room was moved. Maybe it was easier for her to take this laundry basket out with the gate not being there. But we don't know how big this laundry basket is. Is it one of those big laundry baskets that you can fit your whole family's laundry in? Or is it a small laundry basket that you basically just carry it around? What type of laundry basket was it? Was it a basket type? What was it? What kind of let's see a picture of the type of laundry basket this was. And it appears that there are some clothes missing. So it looks to me like, if this is true, looks to me that she's piled some stuff into the laundry basket and just taking it all with her. But we don't know how many clothes she's taken. She's not walked out, a dog would follow her. Well, it appears the dog did follow her because the dog was outside. So the dog did follow her outside. Yeah, that's correct. The dog was outside. I'm with you, Jackie. If she's taken clothes, why didn't she take her medication? So she left behind all personal hygiene items. I mean, this is so strange. Like she's packed a lot. By the sounds of things, she's packed a laundry basket with clothes. How many we don't know. But yet she's not taking any personal hygiene items like a toothbrush, a hairbrush, makeup maybe if she wears it. Is the dog missing? No, the dog was outside. The dog was outside. When Dad got up, the dog was outside. The dog doesn't live outside, so it's unusual that the dog's outside. So it looks like the dog has followed Angel outside. She shut the door. The dog's still outside. The dog's just been left there. Yes, we are assuming that she packed the stuff. Yeah, we are. We are assuming that. I mean, it could easily have been someone else who came into the house and packed a laundry basket. I mean, laundry baskets, even small laundry baskets, they're bulky. Why not pack a bag? I don't get it. I don't get it. So she's left behind all her personal hygiene items, her watch, all of her electronic devices were all there. So her phone, her tablet, and her school Chromebook, and her medication. Now, Angel is pre-diabetic, and she also has a thyroid disorder. I think she's got hypothyroidism. So it's potentially, worst case scenario, potentially life-threatening. Now, it depends how severe her thyroid disorder is, because you can be moderately hypothyroidic. I don't know what the word is. Be suffering, mildly or even moderately with hypothyroidism. And yes, you're going to have effects. It's going to make you feel tired. It's going to make you feel probably like sluggish. It's not going to make you feel very good, but it's not going to kill you. But worst case scenario, if the thyroid disorder is severe and her pre-diabetes is also getting to the point, to the point of full-blown diabetes, then it is potentially, worst case scenario, potentially life-threatening. Now, maybe she doesn't realize. Maybe she just doesn't realize how serious it could be if she doesn't have her medication. Was she taken out in the laundry basket? Look, I don't know how big the laundry basket was. Now, she's not a tiny girl. She weighs 260 pounds. She's not a tiny, small child who could be carried out in a laundry basket. So I would say no. So she's 5'1", but she weighs 260 pounds. Yeah, thyroid problems and diabetic, not too good without meds. No, like I said, if you're only mildly hypothyroid, in hypothyroidism, then yeah, you're not going to feel good, but you're not going to die. Where's this girl Angel from? Jean, she is from West Virginia, Berkeley Springs in West Virginia. So she's not going to carry, she's not going to be, you're not going to be able to carry her out in a laundry basket. She's not like a tiny, 2-year-old or even a 5-year-old. She's effectively a grown-up. Even though she's only 15, she's not a small child. So no, I don't think she's been carried out in a laundry basket, no. But she's only pre-diabetic. That's the term that's been used. So pre-diabetes, you're not dependent on insulin injections. You can control pre-diabetes with dietary changes and, just basically being careful. Now, there might be medication that goes along with it, but it's not like being full-on diabetic where you'll go into a coma if you don't get your insulin. But again, we don't know the severity of these disorders as of yet. It might only be that she's relatively mild, and it's not a life-threatening situation. And she might, something that I've thought of, she might not have taken a medication because she doesn't, if she's met someone online that, has befriended her and that she believes that she's in a relationship with, she might not want to admit that she takes medication. She might be, I don't know, for whatever reason, funny about it. She might not want to admit that she's got health concerns. She might not even want to think about it. She might not have even considered it. She might have just been excited to leave and she's just not taking it. How did Dad not hear anything? Probably because she snuck out. I mean, look, if you're asleep, what are you going to hear? Someone sneaking out? You're not going to hear someone sneaking out if you're asleep, unless you're a really, really light sleeper. So Dad has lived in the home since at least 2012, when the parents finalised their divorce. The community is close-knit. The family is not asking for donations and does not want search parties formed unless the police deem it to be necessary. So there hasn't been sort of volunteer search parties. And if you see any GoFundMes or anything like that in Angel's name, then rest assured that they are not endorsed by the family. They are scammed. The family at this time have not set up a GoFundMe. They're not asking for donations. So police have been communicating necessary information with the family and is actively investigating. The family is asking for you to share Angel's flyers, and if you see Angel, please take a photo so the sighting can be confirmed by the police. Report all tips to the Morgan County Sheriff's Department on 304-258. Oh, that's a different number. It's a different number than is on the Aware Foundation. So maybe there's two numbers, 304-258-1067, or by email at jhedrick@Morgan County WV, that's all one word, .gov. Morgan County WV.gov. So I thought those facts were useful. So I do think she's gone out with. I think she's met someone. Someone's picked her up. That's where I'm at with this case. Is she special needs in any way? No, apart from her medical conditions, we don't believe that she's special needs. It says here that she's highly intelligent, so don't know whether she's got any other medical conditions other than what's been stated, or whether she's got a mental health concern. We don't know. That's not been stated. Yeah, just Google the local police if you've got a tip. Just call the cops. Call any number. They'll get that information to the right people. That's right. Young people are not always great at managing health issues. Son-in-law is 26. Messes about with his type 1 diabetes. Well, it's true. You know, we're not that good at... It's not just young people. You know, sometimes you forget. Sometimes you think, oh, well, I feel fine now. Therefore, I'm going to stop taking my medication because I feel fine. And then you don't realise that it's medication that's making you feel fine. So she probably thought she didn't need it. And she's not taking it. Because yesterday I thought, well, until I read this and realised that it's likely she's taken clothes with her, I thought she can't have run away because she'd have taken her medication and she'd have taken her dog. I still wonder why she didn't take her dog. Maybe the person that she was meeting didn't want her to. Like, didn't want the extra hassle of the dog. So maybe she went out with the dog and the person said, look, we're not taking the dog with us. And she went, oh, okay. And she got in the car and left the dog outside. Yeah, she may have forgot it. She may have just forgot these things. She may have just forgotten her medication. So Carrie, her mother, put a post on earlier today, if I can find it, to mark the 1 week. Here we go. So Carrie Michaels, day 7. We have reached day 7. I was awake most of the night last night. Just couldn't fall to sleep. I can't believe we've reached day 7 without a word. My heart and soul are so broken. My mind keeps taking me to places that I don't want to go. It plays so many scenarios over and over in my mind. I am so lost. I just want Angel home. I don't have anything new to update at this time. Please keep sharing Angel's posts and those passing out flyers. Please keep doing so. Thank you. So we don't have any more information. This is the podcast that I'm going to put a link to it in the description box. So it's an interesting podcast, and it's Carrie. Wonder if the dog wasn't around when she left. She couldn't find it. Well, the dog would have been in the house because the dog wasn't an outdoor dog. So unless when she opened the door, the dog just, I don't know, ran after a rabbit or whatever. But don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Do law enforcement need a warrant for searching her phone, etc., if parents give consent? No, they don't need a warrant to take a phone dump. However, they will need search warrants to get into her social media accounts. You know, to access things like private messages, stuff like that. I mean, they might, obviously, if Dad knows her password on her phone and she's logged in on all of those things, then they've got access. So I think the reason why they don't want search parties and stuff at this moment in time is because they know she's left with someone. maybe there's camera footage that we don't know about yet. Maybe they found conversations on her social media that they have reason to believe are concerning. We don't know. We don't know about any of that yet. But no, they won't need a warrant to get into her electronics. Generally the main problem with things like phones and tablets and computers is that family members don't know the password. So they have to try and break into the phone, like crack the code. That tends to be the biggest stumbling block. But to access, stuff that they don't have logins for, then yeah, they'll need search warrants from social media companies. Social media companies won't give up information about users without a warrant. But if they can get in, if dad knows her passwords for stuff, then and they can get in, then they can just read it. Sounds like social media will be the key to finding her. I think so. I think this will be a case where, unless someone spots her, she's out there, like, look, best case scenario, she's met someone online who's maybe just a little bit older than her, and they're having some kind of romance. She doesn't realize what deep shit she's in now. Not that she's in trouble, but obviously there's the person who's picked her up is, because she's only 15, but they've not thought it through, and there's no, she's not dead, she's not been abused beyond the fact that she's 15, but she's safe. That's what I'm trying to get at. She's safe, and potentially someone could spot her. Where was she last seen? At home. So unless someone spots her, I think the key to this will be tracing all of her connections on social media. But then again, if she's talking to loads and loads and loads of people, if she's on every app going, and she's got a million conversations going, then it's going to take quite some time for the police to work through it all. Was it just a phone Angel used? No, she had a tablet. She had a smartwatch, but the watch was connected to dad's phone rather than her phone. She also had a Chromebook from school and a smart TV that she could access the internet from, which her parents didn't know that she could access the internet from her TV, but it appears that she could. What is the age of consent in the US? It depends on the state. So, I don't know about West Virginia. Anybody in West Virginia know? Age of consent, West Virginia. 16. As of March 2024, this is just AI. AI has told me this. So, the age of consent in West Virginia is 16, meaning it's illegal to engage in intimate acts with anybody under that age. However, there's an exception that, for romantic and sexual partners who are less than 4 years older than the teenager. For example, someone who is 18 could defend against allegations of breaking the law. That's similar to the UK. The age of consent 16, but they're not going to criminalize a 17-year-old for having a relationship with a 15-year-old unless it's forced. So if the person she's left with is 17, 18, 19 even, then there's no crime. I mean, there is a crime, but they'll probably not charge the person, potentially. 20 years or older will result in charges. Or 2 minors, yeah. They won't charge 2 minors. But assuming that this person picked her up in a vehicle, then they have to be, they have to be 16. Unless they, I mean, look, come on, some spotty 15-year-old could have robbed his dad's car. That would have come out though, wouldn't it, surely? Surely that would have been in the ether. But there's also a teenage boy missing as well. So I'm guessing if she has gone off with someone, it is an adult rather than another teenager. Or at least a young teenager. We're all guessing here. We're all guessing. So she had access to the internet. Yes, absolutely she did. The parents were trying to limit it, but they didn't realise that she could get on the internet through her smart TV. But she also had access to the internet on her school Chromebook. And she had a phone and a tablet. Now, maybe there was parental controls on that. But teenagers are probably better than parents at working around parental controls. People who saw the car said men. Yeah, but could be a young man, couldn't it? We don't know the age, you see. We don't know the age. Some 18, 19-year-olds look older, don't they? They look older than their years. Or it could be somebody, that they didn't get a good look on the face. Has the dad spoken yet? No. I mean, to the police, yes, but not to the public. And I think he's wise not to, honestly. Because there'll be a lot of people blaming him for this. If this was a bigger case, if this blew up, everybody will be blaming Dad. All right, I did say I was going to keep this one quite brief, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's just share Angel's basic details one more time. So this is Angel, 15 years old, dark blonde hair, brown eyes, 5'1", 260 pounds. She was last seen around 11 p.m. on Friday, August the 2nd, when she went to bed. No concerns, perfectly normal. She went to bed. Dad went to bed at midnight, about an hour later. Checked the house, nothing was amiss, and Dad gets up the following morning and Angel has gone. So this is West Virginia. It's Berkeley Springs, which is a very rural, small place. Fairview Drive area. Last seen wearing a white t-shirt, black shorts, and white sneakers. But let's not assume that that's what she was wearing when she left. That's what Dad last saw her wearing. So there's a couple of different numbers. There's a couple of different numbers for Morgan County sheriffs, but this is the one that the Aware Foundation have used. So 301-258-0303. But there are a couple of different numbers for it. All right, so that's Angel. So please do share. If you don't want to share this live stream, then just share a poster. Share Angel's face, share her details in any way that you choose, as far as you choose, especially if you're in West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, because Berkeley Springs is very, very close to the Maryland border, very, very close to the state line. State line is right there. And then Pennsylvania is right there. So that is a concern. So she's not necessarily in West Virginia. So if you're in Maryland, Pennsylvania, any of the surrounding states, please keep your eyes peeled. She could literally be anywhere. She could have been miles and miles and miles away by the time Dad even got up. And by the time that, the alarm was raised. But let's just hope that she's left of her own free will and she's safe and well. And she'll come back or someone will see her. All right, guys. So thank you all for joining me. Did I get any donations other than the wonderful Purple Ledger? I don't think so. However, I thank you all for being here. Thank you, mods, as always. When were the cars seen? Thursday. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thanks, mods. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.